People are asking us to do more with less.
To me, it's all about growing your personal brand.
They have these marketing ideas for their business. They just don't get started. More and more people are shouting in the market.
You need to know your identity, who you are, and what makes you different.
You have to have a consistent brand, message.
Find your point of differentiation and make that your mission.
Become somebody that people recognize.
Don't be afraid to get out there.
If you can operate with a sense of urgency and find that niche, I think that can lead to success.
Staying inside your office, you're not going to accomplish much.
You need to be networking 24/7.
Learn how to do their own social media campaigns.
Seminar, marketing, client education workshop.
Direct mail, social.
Don't be scared of change.
I think AI is going to play a really big role in helping us.
You can do more, be more, and facilitate more with less.
That's going to get your most visibility and making sure you're getting your message out there.
I think the biggest thing for me is just how the world is changing around us with technology and automation and AI, and how we can incorporate that in our marketing activities.
The key is that we've got to embrace it and figure out how can we harness that and utilize that to create more opportunities.
It's everywhere. It's helping our business. I think initially we were probably scared of it. It's not replacing us as advisors, but I feel like it's making our job a lot easier.
Yeah, I think the area most folks should be focused on is that bottom funnel search content. So we've moved from this hunting and pecking in terms of finding answers to questions that we have by scouring the internet. And we're now at this awesome place where we can just simply ask the internet a question: where's the best place for me to get Medicare Advantage? And we should be able to answer that question. And I think AI is going to play a really big role.
Find the best AI agent to help you get into the markets that most people can't get into because they don't have a bandwidth. You have to have an AI agent to make that happen.
I think the new marketing trend is just getting connected, being face-to-face with everyone. We can do everything online. That's wonderful. Social media marketing is fantastic. AI is fantastic. But I'm kind of old school, and I believe if you're in someone's face, you can really make a difference, a big difference.
Face-to-face, boots on the ground, making a human connection with people is the most effective way.
This year is all about taking the relationship we already have established and then maybe asking some questions about what other ways that you can help that relationship to protect their families.
I think at least for us is kind of going back to the basics with seminar, marketing, client education workshops, that sort of thing.
I've always been a fan of seminars, and all the input and everything that I've seen, seminars are here to stay, and they're only getting bigger and better.
Hot topic in 2026 is going to be diversifying and cross-selling, especially on the ACA market, in the under 65 market.
The one marketing trend is probably virtual leads. I think people want to hear a lot about virtual. I think they want to hear whether it's successful, how to make it work.
2026, I think it's all internet, social media. Post-COVID, nobody wants to leave their house. And so everybody says, what can I do? Where can I scroll? What can I click on? What can I check out? And what can I send my friend other than cat videos?
Just talked about it off camera, doing a podcast or getting your content on YouTube or some of the other platforms that are out there. We took advantage of it and we've seen success. So I'm very grateful for whoever pointed us in that direction.
Platforms. You got to have a platform to sell, something that you're doing repeatable every day, every week, every month. You're going to grow in your marketplace, but a platform that you can bring and show people.
Instead of just this transactional lead buying game, they need to be moving towards scaling the unscalable and doing things that are hard to replicate in marketing,
I think one thing I'd like to do and see in 2026, how do we get more outward facing? How do we up our communication game? And how do we get more fun? Recognition is our mission. I think we need to be recognizing more and outwardly talking about those who are doing well, but those who help us and who are leading the way for us.
I think the big trend that marketers need to be aware of this year is people are asking us to do more with less. And the way that you're proving you do that job effectively is through attribution. Attribution, you think about before you start a campaign. Get everything coordinated, get everybody on the same page, so that when your great efforts pay off, you can show the results on paper in terms of revenue and return on investment.
Be different. I mean, when you're trying to stand out in the crowded marketplace and you're trying to do the same thing, a lot of companies are good at marketing to agents, but they're not really good at marketing to consumers. And marketing to consumers requires you to think outside the box and do the hard stuff.
The advice I'd give people to stand out is to be yourself. In a commoditized marketing world, everybody uses the same jargon, everybody uses the same terminology, and everybody claims the same expertise. But the reality is that when somebody engages you as a marketer and you're helping them expand their business, what they're really investing in is you.
I think the key thing to stand out is, to have a good story to tell that's differentiated. And, from our perspective, we have a great story to tell. So how do you get that out in a more effective way so more people can hear about it?
If you're a good person inside, if you love people inside, just let that exude. Share what you got in your heart with everyone else, and I think that's where you'll make a difference.
You need to know your identity, who you are, and what makes you different. If you know who you are, you're going to be able to identify that differentiator and then be able to talk about the value that is you.
The person you are is the person that made the relationship in the first place. So why not just continue that? And that authenticity shows and reflects in that relationship and the way that it builds.
So the key is actually getting that phone to ring. You actually need to be that secret sauce. You have to be the key to their success.
Lots of folks differentiate by their own social persona, by the content that they create, by the products that they offer, but find your point of differentiation and make that your mission, and then everything you do should be in service to that mission, and thereby in service to differentiating yourself from everybody else.
And however you define the niche, be sure you stay focused on the niche, because if you're in a certain niche, then you'll start getting referrals because you'll be known for that area.
And it may take a while to find that, but once you find that, become the best version of that you can. I always talk about operating with a sense of urgency, and that's how I operate. That's how I tell our marketers to operate. That's how we tell all our people to operate. And so if you can operate with a sense of urgency and find that niche, I think that can lead to success.
That's what our company does. We specialize in a specific market, and we consider ourselves the subject matter expert in that market. So to differentiate yourself, just be a little different.
I mean, that's exactly what Orca Life did. Everybody else was doing so many different products. We chose to find our niche, and that was in final expense. We went and what I call did the dirty jobs of the insurance industry.
Be true to your brand. Don't jump around. If your brand is, hey, I'm here to be a trusted resource for my clients, be that. If your brand is social media, be that. But I find that agents that really fail, it's because they keep trying one thing after another and they don't sit on one spot and really get anywhere with it.
You want to be high tech, of course, but you also have to be high touch. You have to still be a real person. You have to be that relatable person. You can't be this overly, in my opinion, can't be overly polished, because then you have this wall between you and everybody. So I think the high tech needs to be used, but you also have to be able to be touchable, relatable, and real.
If you're going to recruit agents, the agent that you need to recruit is the agent that's willing to pivot, that's willing to diversify, that's willing to add more products to their portfolio, that's willing to take training and listen, right? It's so important for them to understand market intelligence so that they can continuously grow and see growth even through the challenges that we're facing in the market.
So I think where you need to separate yourself is just providing education and giving the consumer value, but not doing it with a needs analysis approach and really caring about what they're doing. And I think looking at them like your parents or grandparents.
So your reputation is going to be dictated by the relationships that you put together with your clients, how you interact with your clients. Do you do community events? Your reputation will establish your relationships, and the community has to be involved.
I would say, like a good paint job in a car, it's all in the prep work before you lay the paint down. Same thing with acquiring clients and doing client workshops. Is the better you can get in the prep on your knowledge and everything going in, the better your results will be.
It's the basics. It's always back to the basics. It's always put the person first, above you, and meet their needs.
Our job is to advise people, is to educate people. We should be salesmen last, and people will respond if you're genuine in that capacity. In my opinion, I think it's far more productive than trying to be persuasive.
Being scrappy is important whether or not you have one client or whether you have 100 clients. If you're just starting out, you need to be like, I'll give a little plug here, AmeriLife Marketing Mentors. You need to be out there taking advantage of every single opportunity. Your passion is directly correlated to your success.
Just dive right in. There's no better substitute for experience than experience.
It's learning products, whether it's learning the industry, getting good at your craft, responding to producers, responding to questions, following up on new business.
Reach out to the community, do food banks, go to swap meets, become somebody that people recognize and know as the person that provides the insurance in the area.
You get a phone call them back. And as fast as possible, because there's nobody who wants to wait on information. We are in a year and a time of our life where everybody wants it, not just now, but yesterday.
Well, a new agent coming into the business needs to make sure they partner up with an organization that has true arm-in-arm training. We're talking right there beside you.
Find a mentor, right? A seasoned professional. Even if you go and work for free, right? Knowledge is power.
Build a relationship with somebody who's already gone down the path and the place that you'd like to go. Use their vision and already traveled path so that you can learn from those experiences and not fall into some of the pitfalls that would make you struggle along the way.
So many times we see advisors that want to try to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, when the key to success is actually out there already. You just need to talk to people that are already doing it.
Seen a lot of people get into the business, find success, and then the next thing you know, they're blowing money faster than they ever made it. But find somebody that can coach you, can mentor you. They'll help you move the needle. It'll go from empty to full before you know it.
You know, you have to be ready. You have to have grit. You have to be ready to face challenges, not give up, and continue to persevere. If you don't do that, you're not going to be able to succeed in this industry.
Make sure on every appointment when you first start it, ask for referrals. The referral starts from the beginning of the conversation, and the best reps that we have within our company start that process right away. So if you're just getting started, leads are going to be scarce. Ask for as many referrals as possible.
Ask the customer what they want, not what you want them to buy. Ask the customer what they want, and then if you can deliver on that, then it's a pretty easy transaction. Ask everybody you know how you can earn their business, and they will tell you.
They're going to have to think about not being a one-trick pony. You know, in the health space, Medicare Advantage, MedSup is core, but we need to be able to go over and hit the under 65 market, cross-sell a little life insurance, cross-sell ancillary, because the lead conversion and getting people on the phone is much more difficult than it used to be. And so when you do get in front of someone, you need different monetization points for that customer and different ways to help them.
Pick something, get really good at it, and then move on and have a process.
Just kind of write down things that you would like to accomplish. When you have like a business plan, then you have some guidance and some instruction. Once you get it all down in writing, then you can take a look at it and go step by step by step until you achieve your goal.
Treat your business like a business. Your investment dollars should overwhelmingly go to marketing. You need to have at least 2 or 3, ideally 3+ sources that are generating leads for you to be able to consistently get in front of the amount of people you need to get in front of in order to succeed.
Start with building your brand. Don't create paralysis by analysis. Understand it's not going to be perfect in the beginning. You know, there's many different brands that started off with a different identity and it morphed and it evolved into something totally different. Find your starting point, get going, build off of that, and just, you know, content, talk about you, talk about your business, talk about your clients, share those success stories, but start somewhere. Failure to take flight means you're going to fail.
I think the key thing is to kind of prioritize, you know, what you want to do, but you have to have a consistent brand message. You know, I would start with outsourcing some key things to make sure that you can tackle the priorities and get your message across.
There is an appetite and a hunger out there for real, authentic human connection. Focus on growing that local audience. Let your community know that you're there and you're ready to help.
We are all what sets us apart in this industry. And so the more you can grow that personal brand, get yourself out there, show who you are, have some fun. That's where I think 2026 is going to be all about that.